Who do I contact if I have a repair or any other issues with the property? You can download and set up your account on the MyRecon app to report a repair. Visit MyRecon app on the Recon Housing Group website for our step-by-step how-to guide. If you're having issues with the app, we recommend reporting any issues through the repairs line on 01952 217 217. Alternatively, you can contact the local housing team or your housing executive. Please keep in mind that access will need to be given to the property for repairs. This includes any repairs that might be carried out by the developer, subject to the repair issue, of which the service hours are Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM. If there is an emergency, the service hours will vary depending on who is dealing with the repair. How quickly will issues or repairs be processed? We can usually address and fix most issues straight away, but please keep in mind it depends on the issue and the development site. For issues that can be dealt with our repairs team, including some defects, we offer a same-day repairs service. Other issues might take longer to be resolved depending on who will carry out the work. For example, we can't guarantee a time frame where subcontractors are involved. What is the defect period? The defect period lasts 12 months and allows time for the property to settle after the build is completed. The defect period starts from when the Recon Housing Group receives ownership of the property from the developer and is not to be confused with the handover date. Prior to the end of the defect period, you will be sent a defect survey sheet, which you will need to complete and send back to us to make us aware of any outstanding issues or defects. After completing the defect survey sheet, a defect inspection will take place with the Clerk of Works and developer. Any defects identified will be passed over to the developer to rectify. The developer will contact you to arrange an appointment to complete any works for the noted defects. What visits or appointments can I expect in the first 12 months? You will need to allow access for a minimum of 4 visits during the first 12 months. Some of these can be virtual appointments if an in-person visit isn't needed. This is part of your tenancy management and is separate to any defects or repairs visits. Can I contact the developers about any issues with my property? Please always report any issues to our repairs team or speak to your housing executive or local housing team. The developers are not responsible for processing defects, issues and concerns. Am I allowed to start decorating, for example, putting my TV up on the wall, installing blinds or curtain rails? Please do not make any alterations to the property without getting permission from us first. Depending on the alteration, it may not be allowed within the first 12 months until after the defect survey has been completed and signed off. This includes avoiding anything big or heavy being put on the walls, for example, TVs or shelves. It's important that you do not add any wallpaper, paint or wall fixtures to the walls, as this can interfere with our surveys, as the properties are still drying out and need time to settle. Should I be concerned about cracks in my property? As mentioned in the previous question, during the first 12 months, we will need to see where there are any cracks or issues with the walls. Please check with us first before decorating or adding alterations. Any cracks you notice will be addressed during the defect visits. How should I look after my property? Please ensure to keep the property well ventilated throughout your tenancy, as there is a lot of moisture in the properties for the first 12 months due to all the plaster. All modern ventilation systems are completely automated, but you will be shown at the handover how to use the trickle vents on windows and how to use the extractor fans to prevent conditions for mould. Even if you are ventilating the property well, you should never turn off the isolation switch to the extractor fans. The isolating switches are a requirement of electrical regulations and for contractors to use when testing and for isolating purposes. The fans fitted have humidity sensors that monitor moisture levels constantly, and the fans either run on a trickle or boost feature depending on the conditions. For more information on preventing damp, mould and condensation, please visit Damp and Condensation on the Recon Housing Group website. For more information on how best to heat your home, including energy saving, please visit Central Heating on the the Wrekin Housing Group website. Can I store things in the loft? Please don't store any items in the loft. For energy efficiency, the roof space is well insulated. Storing items in the loft will compromise the energy efficiency of the insulation and cause it to compress. Compressing the roof insulation can result in fires and/or condensation and damp issues. Should I be aware of garden and landscape changes? Some landscape maintenance might be ongoing whilst you're moving in. Please be mindful of waterlogging and how bad weather can affect the landscape of your garden. If you have any problems, please contact your local housing team or repairs team. Some information will differ depending on which home you've applied for. Please contact the local housing team to find out if bins will be provided for you, who is responsible for communal areas maintenance, for example grass cutting, any inquiries about street lighting, roadworks or communal paving, if the property uses ground source heat pumps and/or solar PV panels as the main energy supply.